Eso me hace acceso. my god! Talk about a rude awakening! Holy shit! You talk about the greatest evil this world has ever known. And in the middle of that dream, all of a sudden a giant bird pops into your face. You have any kind of respect? What the hell? You know me too well, Zelda. You ever have that recurring dream that you're always late for a class, even well after you graduate? This is one of those days, isn't it? Well, we don't seem too angry about it. So, you may remember, about a month ago, I put up a poll asking you guys what game you wanted to see me play for my 5th year anniversary special, and you chose the only game I told you outright I did not enjoy playing. Hello guys, this is UniversalGiant, and let's play The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword for the Wii. You better be happy. There's a lot to say about this game, and a lot that I really don't want to say about this game. I kinda just want to jump into it and let you explore for yourselves. If you haven't seen a Zelda game before, chances are you're not watching this video because, let's be honest, you only voted for it because you knew what you wanted to see. So we are our Link selves again. The art style is a bit different. People like to think it's a mixture of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. It is, but I think it was developed on its own, and you'll see as we get into the game, it's definitely done with purpose. But there's a lot of stuff that we can do in and around this area. It looks like we're still in school or something. So we'll be meeting a lot of people around the way. Most of the time, at least in the very beginning, they'll be teaching us how to do stuff, teaching us elements about the world that we live in, things that we can do. The most important change with the new Zelda game here is the implementation of motion controls, and they're going to be a lot more prevalent for me because I'm the one playing the game. But I think most of you that have played this game before have a good idea as to what's going on, and I'll explain it when it becomes more important. But for now, we're just exploring around, learning about the world that we live in, and judging by the very beginning of the game, the opening cutscene, I think you have a reason why we want to be learning a little bit more about the place that we live, because unlike a lot of the starting areas in Zelda games, this one's got some pretty big story behind it. Now, unlike games like Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, that all start you out in opening towns or villages or islands that really don't have much going for them, they're set out really far away from everywhere else, and I think everything besides our own room is closed off to us right now, so we'll probably be heading out shortly. Not only does this area serve as our hub for the game, but it also has a very important backstory to it. It's going to serve as the hub for the plot, essentially. Welcome to the world of Skyloft, high above the clouds. The outcropping of land that the goddess herself sent above the heavens to protect the humans. Guess we have to do that. Yeah, get used to the game constantly beeping at you. Because for one reason or another, it really likes to do that, and it won't stop with the beeping until you actually do what it tells you to do. I mean, you can ignore the beeping if you want, but it's just going to get more and more annoying, and it will not go away easily. So if you see me doing a random thing and then immediately canceling it, that's the reason why. It doesn't happen too often, but often enough to be an annoyance. So that's the new mechanic with this game in addition to the motion controls, although you could make the argument that motion controls were a thing since Twilight Princess, since the GameCube version really is the quintessential Twilight Princess version, and the motion controls were kind of shoot in for the Wii version. I like to think this is the real motion control Zelda game, because it was specifically designed around it. And that's also the reason why they implemented the Wii Motion Plus for this game. There are two ways you could have had access to the Wii Motion Plus. You could either attach the physical attachment to the remote, or if you got the, I forget if deluxe bundle or package, whatever it was, with the game, it also came with a controller that had Wii Motion Plus built in, which was really helpful, considering that you needed it to play the game. Now, when I got this game, I didn't really see the need to get another remote control, so I bought myself one of the attachments. And looking back, it wasn't exactly the best of ideas, because the joystick for the nunchuck would constantly recalibrate itself when using the attachment as opposed to the Motion Plus controller. And that would happen anywhere from maybe once every 10 minutes to once every couple of minutes. And if you've ever started up a game console while holding a direction with the joystick, you know just how annoying it is. Imagine having that happen at random points during gameplay every couple of minutes and tell me that you would find it enjoyable. I know I didn't. So that was really irritating for me the first couple of times I played this game through, and I will admit a lot of the reason why I disliked it as much as I did early on was because of that constant recalibration. So for this, I'll be using a Wii Motion Plus controller as opposed to the attachment. And it makes all the difference in the world, at least in that regard. So let's get all of that out of the way and finally go see Zelda. Hey, good morning, Giant! I'm glad to see my Loftman got you out of bed. I was pretty sure you'd sleep in and forget to meet me this morning. You know me too well. But look at this instrument, and look at this outfit. They're mine to use today in the ceremony, since I'll be playing the role of the goddess. Aren't they beautiful? Especially this instrument. They tell me it's just like the one the goddess was said to have in the legends. It sounds gorgeous, too. I asked Father about it, and he says it's called a harp. And look at these clothes. I made this wrap myself, and we got to use it in today's ceremony. Between the harp and this outfit, I'm going to make a great goddess today. I got up early this morning because I wanted you to be the first to see me like this, Giant. So how do I look? Let's just go with the canonical answers. I don't want to stray too far from this one. You look great, Zelda. I think so too, but it's nice to know you agree. Thanks, Giant. Oh, there you are, Zelda. Are you all prepared for today's ceremony? Guessing that's the father. Oh, hello, Father. Oh, Giant, you're here too. Outstanding. It's encouraging to see you up so early given your capacity for sleep. No doubt today's ceremony has you too excited to close your eyes for once. If you win today's ceremonial race, you'll get to participate in the post-race ritual with Zelda, so give it your best out there. Yes, about that? Father, I don't know if he can do it! Recently, Giant hasn't been practicing much at all for the ceremony. And even when he's out riding his loved one, he's just lazily gliding around, probably daydreaming. I don't know what he's thinking. He's going to have to be perfect control of his bird to win today. No need to worry yourself, Zelda. Though you may have a point, today's wing ceremony tests the skill of the rider as well as his bond with his bird. Victory will not come easily. And as you've pointed out, I haven't seen him practicing as hard as some of the other students. But you've known him since you were both very little. You should know better than to fret about him. You see, Giant and his Loftwing share a special connection. I've never seen anything quite like it. As you know, each of us in Skyloft is but half of one pair. We are only made whole by our Loftwings, the guardian birds that the goddess bestows upon each of us as a symbol of her divine protection. When we are young, every one of us meets our Loftwing under the great statue of the goddess. It's quite a big moment, as I'm sure you recall. Ah, but that first meeting with Giant and his Loftwing was extraordinary. The bird that came to him was a crimson Loftwing. It is a breed so rare we were sure for some time it had vanished from the line. Yes, and the boy and his bird seemed to share a profound connection from the moment they met. Do you recall when Giant and that Loftwing of his first met? What a sight! The little boy just hopped up on that bird and gracefully flew away without even a moment of instruction. They were meant for each other. And judging by how jealous you were that day, I'd say the friendship he shared with his bird didn't go unnoticed by you, my dear. Speaking of that Loftwing... Where is it? Aw, but who can blame you? I'm sure you weren't the only one envious of the powerful bond shared by Giant and his bird. Anyone who is a part of something special is bound to catch something nasty looks sooner or later. Hoo-hoo. Guess why he's saying hoo-hoo? You'll learn his name in short time. This contest is nothing to laugh at, Father! Holy shit, Zelda, your voice! It's like you dropped 4 balls all at the same time. The ceremony is part of the final test of the training to become Knights of the Skyloft. If Giant doesn't fly fast enough during the race... What if UniGiant messes up his big chance? What if he's not allowed to become a knight? Calm down, my dear, it'll be fine. Honestly, it's almost as though you become a completely different person when you worry about Giant. Your voice even becomes very close to mine. Listen, Giant, you better fly your heart out today. At the very least, you need to squeeze in a little practice time before the race. You really think that's necessary? Come on, you'll thank me later. Zelda, I think you worry about me a lot more than I worry about me. Here we are. Go on now, jump off the ledge and call your Loftwing. It's almost time for their ceremony, so try to practice seriously for once. Oh yeah? You can't sense your bird out there? Oh, I get it. You're trying to weasel out of having to practice. Nice try, but you're not fooling me. Off you go. Okay, Giant, go ahead. I don't think this was a good idea, Zelda. His bird sure is taking a long time to get here. Something's wrong! Hang in there, Giant, I've got you! You two alright? I'm sorry, friend. I didn't mean to push you so hard. You didn't sprain your wing, did you? This is very odd, Giant. What could have possibly happened to your loft wing? For a bird to ignore the call of its master, it's unheard of. And you still can't sense your bird nearby, eh, Giant? This is quite a problem, especially considering the wing ceremony is about to start. I should have believed you, Giant. I'm sorry. I need to tend to my own loft wing, so I'll catch up with you later. You better go on ahead and see if you can find where your bird is gone. There's the bell for the ceremony. We're in some deep shit. We're only 10 minutes into the game. My, how did it get to be so late? If I recall correctly, this year Instructor Horwell is presiding over the ceremony. Giant, you should go explain the situation to him and see if he's willing to delay the race a little so that you can find your bird. Sounds like a good idea, but aren't you the headmaster? But Father, you're the headmaster of the Academy. If Giant asks Instructor Horwell, he'll probably just come back to talk to you about it. See, Zelda knows what I'm talking about. Oh, quite true. As usual, you make an excellent point, my dear. Very well, I'll explain the situation to him myself. Giant, run along and tell Instructor Horwell to come see me in my quarters.